Many of you know that I come from the insurance industry on the insurance agency side. And if you're in that space, you already know M&A and mergers and acquisitions and buying and selling is such a hot topic. I was part of a group and a lot of people were looking to sell because multiples were at the highest. Everyone else was doing it. There's almost like a fever pitch in our industry, at least some of the circles I ran in, to where people were like, hey, we need to sell because this is hot. It's just kind of like one of those things where we try to get with our clients to say, well, let's slow down a little bit. Yes, the market may be hot. Yes, valuations may be at their peak because of variables A, B, and C. But let's make sure that's not the core reason. Let's look through the right lenses of why you want to sell. Is it the right time? Hello, welcome to the GuideLight podcast. I'm Jason Trent, your host, and today we're going to be talking about when is the right time to sell your business. There's 5 signs typically. There's always more. When we go through things like this, we're just trying to boil down to 5 popular thoughts to walk through when trying to figure out if it's the right time. One of the things that is really important to take into consideration is, and I've talked to business owners that feel like, hey, I think it's time, and we walk through some exercises. Is this just Are you just like, burnout? Are you just having like fatigue in the business? And I've seen that happen a lot. And so what we try to do at GuideLight Legacy Advisors is help walk them through to make sure that's not the reason, because that's not a reason you want to do. You want to recenter it. Now, sometimes it could be, but you always want to make sure you come back around centered to your purpose, your mission, your vision. Look through those lenses, get some good guidance and advice, and make sure that you're not just selling because you're just done with it. I mean, again, sometimes you have to, so that's something just to kind of walk through. A second sign is really when you find yourself just kind of in a maintenance mode. I call it the hamster wheel. You just find yourself running around that hamster wheel. It's more maintenance. I know for me, I was kind of in one of those modes where we were actually growing, but it was kind of like we were just growing to grow. We'd kind of lost sight of the mission and the vision. And I had kind of grown tired and weary when we were growing our business just because I felt like it was just maintenance. And I had a great organization called C12 really come around me with great leaders that just kind of helped me and really challenged me when it came to, should I sell my business? Should I not? But really what we ended up doing is kind of fixing some core issues that we needed to fix. And that was so helpful. And, in trying to make sure, hey, maybe it's not the right time to sell, and we didn't. And at that point, I didn't sell because there was more work to be done, and it got me recentered. And so number 3 on the list is really just about your personal health, and it's really not even your personal health, just your personal well-being. There's so many variables that come into your personal life, and just even I call it your shalom, your well-being, your wholeness. And sometimes I've seen business owners, and I've been there at points in my life where things just get out of balance. And when you're out of balance, that's not a time necessarily to sell. Sometimes it is if you can't get it right, but usually you want to kind of get that balance and kind of get realigned, to maybe make sure, hey, I need to make sure my family comes first. I need to make sure just my own well-being comes first. I need to make sure I have boundaries in my life that don't just, I don't allow the business to just overtake me and the demands. There's a lot of variables there when it comes to just your overall health and well-being and personal relationships and business relationships. There's a lot there that sometimes I've seen business owners, come to us and say, hey, we got to sell because of A, B, and C. And sometimes we do. We go ahead, but before we do it, we make sure we get things centered and we make sure we make it the business transition well, and not just because, panic mode, so to speak. So number 4 on the list, and I'm smiling bigger on this one because I've seen this happen firsthand in our industry. Many of you know that I come from the insurance industry on the insurance agency side. And if you're in that space, you already know M&A and mergers and acquisitions and buying and selling is such a hot topic. You're probably not a day passes where you're not getting hit up with something in that space. And I was part of a group, and a lot of people were looking to sell because multiples were at the highest. Everyone else was doing it. There's almost like a fever pitch in our industry, at least some of the circles I ran in, to where people were like, hey, we need to sell because this is hot, or this, and it's just kind of like one of those things where we try to get with our clients to say, let's slow down a little bit. Yes, the market may be hot. Yes, valuations may be at their peak because of variables A, B, and C. But let's make sure that's not the core reason. Let's look through the right lenses of why you want to sell. Is it the right time? And it might be. Striking when the iron's hot. That's definitely a variable to consider because in that same scenario, 2 years later, economy shifts, interest rates go up, and multiples kind of start creeping down. And I had to walk through some folks of, oh, I should have sold. And that does happen. But again, the main thing is market valuation should not be the only factor of, hey, it's time to sell. We just need to walk through some of those things first. So on that last point, I kind of alluded to, sometimes you wait, it costs you, or exiting too early, it could cost you. And I have a great story where this one business leader, they were looking over their business and they were working with consultants, and they were looking at timing. When is the right time to exit? And it was great because they walked through all these variables and they said, listen, if you stay for 2 more years, here's what it could look like. Here's what it could mean. And putting real data and real scenarios, there's always unknowns, so you just can't always plan for those. But it's always good to walk through that with a consultant to say, what does it look like if I wait 2 years? What does it look like if I exit now? And what I love about this story is the business leader didn't look at it through his own lenses of how it's going to impact him. What he did is, how's it going to impact the business? How's it going to impact the clients we serve? How's it going to impact our team that we've built, the leadership, all of our employees? And when he looked at it through those lenses, he decided to go ahead and step away early and at that time and not wait, even though, in his own mind, it might have benefited him to stay on a couple more years. But those are great ways to look at, timing, and then really making sure you're anchoring in it. It's not always about you. It's not always about your valuations of the money. It's like, what's the best thing to do for the business, your team, the communities you serve? And so I think that's a great lens to kind of consider and walk through whenever you're trying to consider, selling and timing and all that. And so as we kind of wrapped up these 5 points, I hope you kind of noticed that a lot of what we've talked about is working with someone else. And GuideLight Legacy Advisors, that's what we do. But whether it's us or someone else, it's so important to get professional consulting advice on what it is you need to do. And one of the great things we have at our website is an assessment tool. You might find it really valuable. It just kind of walks through kind of our 6 GuideLight pathways, just 6 lenses to look through what is the right time, and just all kinds of variables about your own business and where you're positioned on potentially exiting or maybe staying. So I encourage you to click on that. It's in the description below, and take that assessment if you have time. And hey, if this has been valuable to you, please share it with someone else. You can like and subscribe. And we're just thankful for your time today. And like I said, hope it was helpful, and we'll see you on the next episode.